Hello, my name is Beth Smith, and we are starting something new this month. We're going to walk through the units that are upcoming for the next month, in this case, December, to give you a heads up on what you might want to prep, what you might want to gather, just in general, what the units will be about. We hope that you find this helpful, and we plan to do it every month. So I am logged in as a customer, and I'm going to go under the GWE customer tab to get to the units. Our two units for December are Rock and Rhymes and also the second unit is Creative Me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the first unit and talk a little bit about that unit. Then I'll come out of there and go into the second unit. This is going to be a very short overview, maybe 10 minutes max, just to give you an idea of things you might need to gather, prep. You might want to even start looking at your book nook and seeing what books might go along with the units, etc. So I'm going to go into the English files. And as you know, there's always a little introduction about the unit there. We will be posting this video also at the very beginning so that you can view that as well. And I'm going to go into the teaching guide because that's where obviously the meat of the unit will be. This unit is all about rhymes, nursery rhymes, and there's been some recent research coming out that talks a lot about how exposure to rhymes at a young age, even babies and non-speaking toddlers and twos, is so beneficial for many reasons. You hear patterns in rhythm, you become familiar with different types of words. They're easy to memorize or to remember because of the sing-song nature of nursery rhymes. So in this unit, we're going to cover different nursery rhymes, but that does not mean you cannot add others into it. In fact, with GWIZ, that's what we want you to do. We want you to look at us as the foundation, and then you build upon that. So keeping in mind as I look through this unit with you that you can add in other nursery rhymes as well. Here's your table of contents, a review of all of those picture codes, which are so important so you know with each activity what areas of development you are addressing. This is our planning grid. A lot of providers will actually print this one page and post it so that parents or families can kind of know what's coming up for the next 2 weeks or 10 days. And then we get into the actual lesson plans. You will also notice that starting in December, we've made some adjustments to the way the lesson plans look, just the layout of them to make them a little more clean. So the nursery rhymes that we're going to be doing in this unit are Humpty Dumpty. I think you saw Little Miss Muffet. And the different rhymes are in a prop, which is our nursery rhyme book. So sometimes, with story props, we might have flannel board pieces or we might have stand-up props. In this case, it's actually a book. So you're going to get all the pages that you print out. It has the actual rhyme on it and then a picture. Now, I know we get asked a lot about translations to different languages. In this case, we are not translating to Spanish because the rhyme scheme would be lost, but also exposing those children who are dual language learners or DLL or ELL learners to English through these nursery rhymes is an excellent tool. And so we've left them in English for that reason. So you'll see, and again, if you're new to GWiz, anything in Reb just requires you to have a little bit of extra time to prepare it. I'm going to look at the materials list with you after we take a glance through these lesson plans. So we have Humpty Dumpty. And again, noting how we level the experiences developmentally for toddlers, in this case, twos, youngs, threes, and then older threes, fours, and advanced preschoolers. Now remember, that's their developmental level. So my advice to you is once these are posted, which they are now, obviously you're going to want to download and save all these materials to your computer, but take time in the next short while to go through here, even just glancing through this whole teacher's guide and think about the children in your group. Think about which experiences we have planned that you think they would enjoy, which ones you're going to need to adapt, which ones you're going to need to modify for your different age groups. Okay. Um, so obviously we go through all the lesson plans like this. I'm not going to go through this whole teacher's guide. I just want to reiterate the importance of taking a time to kind of just glance through it ahead of time, because what we want you to do is say, well, maybe for instance, let's go to the next day and we're doing Hey Diddle Diddle. let's say here one of the activities is this dishes and spoons experience, and maybe you're like, ah, I really don't think they'd enjoy that, but I have a better idea. Well, that's what we want you to do. Put in your better idea, or do them both, whatever works for you. But again, I'm not going to take time to go through this whole unit. I do want to note that at the back of it, there is a book list, so now would be a great time to go through your library of books to see what books you have that might include nursery rhymes, and or go to the library and have the librarian help you. That will be in the back of the book, back of this teaching guide. So I'm going to go out of here, and I want to show you that actual story prop of the nursery rhyme book. So here's the book, and you'll see there's going to be a page for every nursery rhyme. So we have Humpty Dumpty, we have Hey Diddle Diddle, we have Once I Caught a Fish Alive, Jack Be Nimble, Little Jack Horner, Little Miss Muffet, Wee Willie Winky, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So what I would encourage you to do with a preparation for this is obviously you're going to need to print this out. And you can either simply staple over here on the left-hand side, or if you want to make it more durable so the children can actually manipulate it and flip through it, you might want to print this out, then put it in a 3-ring binder and slip each one of these into a page protector. That will kind of protect it. You can also just print another copy out and put it in your language center so the children can explore it on their own. Okay, so that's our story prop for this month. And again, these are the rhymes that we've incorporated into the lesson plans. That does not mean that you cannot incorporate others as well. Here's the materials list, which I wanted to look at briefly. So what I would encourage you to do as you prepare for this unit is to go through here and look particularly at all the things that are in red. Like you may have, obviously, birthday candles, but you may not have birthday candles. So you may want to ask parents or guardians to send some in. Here's something you need to cut out ahead of time if you're planning on doing this experience. Again, anything in red. And then on the second page, we started separating this, or third page, excuse me, we started separating this out with items to collect, like plastic Easter eggs, or purchase fish-shaped crackers, and things that you can ask parents and guardians to help you collect, like plastic Easter eggs. I know in my basement I have a whole basket full of these, even though my kids are now in college. Same thing with plastic water bottles. If you ask ahead of time for these things where parents have time to gather them and bring them in, you're much more likely to get them to do that for you, and that will save you some time and energy as well. So again, take time now that this is posted to just glance through here, look at everything in red, see what you might need, and start gathering those materials. Okay, so that's the materials list. Whoops, I'm sorry, I went too fast. And I do want to look at the add and enhance. These, this is a printable that and you don't have to print it, you just view it on your computer, but this is to help you enhance the environment for the unit. So in this case, we're doing the rock and rhymes, and these are things you might want to put in the different areas in your classroom to enhance the unit. Um, Things like toy fishing pole and plastic fish, since we're doing Once I Caught a Fish Alive, or disposable pie pans in the art center. Um, Again, just take time to look at this and think about what you have on hand, what you might want to gather, what if there's anything you might want to ask parents if they could send in. For instance, does anybody have a child's guitar or a fiddle that you could borrow, and then use in your program? So there's one of these for each unit. This is the one for the nursery rhymes unit. Letters and literacy, again, these are the experiences to do with children who are ready to learn about letters and literacy. And then I want to focus on this new component we just added as of November. This is our customized individualized lesson plan sheet, and it's designed to help those of you, particularly in states that are working on the highest levels of QRIS, to show how you individualized GWIS. So over here are all the experiences, and then you put the children's names across the top. Obviously, the dates you taught this unit and your name would go here. And then in this box, you would detail, for instance, how am I going to individualize, let's say, putting Humpty together again for Jose, who has fine motor control issues. And you would add that information in this box. This is provided as a PDF that you can print out and you can write in, or it's also provided over here as a Word document that you can open up, and then if you have Word on your computer, you can actually type right in the boxes. Okay, so there's two different versions of that you can use. The All About My Week, you all know, is the report that goes home at the end of the week. Um, I would encourage you to make a copy of this before you send it home because it's a great way to keep track of the child's development and interests over time. And then we have our digital family notes. Our family letter now has a new format as well. We're jazzing things up a little bit here. So what we've done is we've taken our bath time, mealtime, out traveling, and bedtime, and we separated those out into colored boxes to kind of make them pop out for the parents and family members so they know how they can reinforce what you're doing at home. Digital family notes I mentioned, the individualization, and the make it sheets. Our make it sheets for this unit are, for this one, it's a Humpty Dumpty that they're going to stuff a bag and then they can play with it as a dramatic play prop. So they could build walls and they could knock Humpty off the wall, or they could take Humpty outside and send him down the sliding board. And our second one is actually a rhyme book, all the rhymes that we're going to be covering so that they can read the rhymes at home with their parents or families. Again, we're not providing this in Spanish because it would lose the complete rhyme scheme and then they would not rhyme anymore. Plus, it's a great way to expose children who are not English speakers to English. Okay, so that's an overview quickly of our first unit, Rockin' Rhymes, for December. And now I'm going to scroll down, and the second unit is Creative Me. And this unit is all about different types of art. We're going to talk about some different artists. You can incorporate, again, other artists you think your children might be interested in learning about. But we're going to do lots of painting, lots of drawing. We're also going to tie in here talking about feelings because art and feelings go hand in hand. So here's just an introduction as always, table of contents. Here's our overview that you might want to print out and post for parents or caregivers to let them know what's going on. And then again, we just start in and you're going to look for these things as you scan through here right now, scan through and look for the things that you're going to need to prepare. As you remember, in the second unit of GWiz, we have a puppet that's printable. It's Kindness Katie in this unit, and there are directions on how to prepare her in the back of this teaching guide, and I'll show you where the printable is for her as well. And again, looking at all the things you might want to gather ahead of time and thinking about, again, how you can adapt and modify. So again, it's so important to take a few minutes to just scan through these lesson plans before you actually get ready to do the unit so that you're prepared, so that you know which ones you might want to adapt, which ones you want to add, what things you need to gather, etc. Okay, so we're not going to spend a lot of time in Teacher's Guide because we just did that in the other unit. The teaching tool for this unit is about feelings. So we're going to talk about feelings, and there are ways on how we're going to use these pictures in the lesson plans. So you'll need to look at the back of the teaching guide on how to prepare these ahead of time. The second unit also has a materials list, again, just like the first one. So you remember, look at it, look at the things in red, look at the things in the yellow box that you might want to ask parents or families to send in. Our add and enhance is here, just like in the second one as well. Letters and literacy, those individualized lesson plan forms. And here's Kindness Katie. I'll just show you what it looks like. Uh-oh, Sherry, we don't have Kindness Katie. We have Shape Sean. We need to change that out. We will fix that, and she will become Kindness Katie, which you will print out and create a puppet with. Sometimes that happens, and luckily we caught it before you guys. Sometimes you catch it and we don't. The Make It sheets for this one are actually something that they can fill out and you can mail it. We're going to talk about caring for others, and this is in fact something they can draw a picture. You could actually put it in an envelope and mail it, or they could just take it home or give it to someone special. And the second one for this one are the feeling cards, and there'll be details on how to use this within the teaching guide. Okay, so remember in the second one, we don't have a story, but instead we have the teaching tool, which in this case is the feelings cards. Again, I would encourage you to look at the materials list, look at the things in red, the things you need to prepare ahead of time. Fear not, we will fix Kindness Katie and flip her out to make her the right puppet. That happens sometimes. If you ever find anything that is not accurate, please let us know, because that's the great thing about being a digital curriculum. We can fix it literally at the drop of a hat. So we hope that this was very useful for you. We are going to do this with each of the units as we post them from this point forward if you find it helpful. Going backwards, I'll show you where I think we'll probably end up posting this short video on this page, probably somewhere here, to give you an overview of the units. We will also post it on our homepage under the video gallery, which if you scroll down here and click on this button, it'll take you there. So we'll post it there as well. Again, if you ever have questions or you need additional information about something or you're confused on something, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. The best way is here, support. Under support, go to contact us and simply fill out this form and we will get back to you as quickly as we can. Just keep in mind, if it's a holiday, if it's a weekend, it's going to take obviously a little longer to get back with you, but we will in fact get back with you. Um, Again, thanks for joining us. We hope you found this useful. Look for another one. We post the January materials and have a great day. Bye.